What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. I'm getting ready to head out in the next few hours to drive down to Florida for the Grand Onslaught 8 GT. So just going to run you guys through what list I'm taking, my thoughts on it, and stuff like that. This list is, or not this list, this event is being run by Louis Betancourt from Onslaught Gaming, who you see me do the every other Tuesday show with. He has his own YouTube channel. So you should definitely go check that out. It is lots of, what's the word for it? I want to say useful, but insightful, helpful, just lots of stuff that can help you with playing competitive 40K. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump right into showing you building this list. Let's make this full screen. All right. So the attachment I'm running is Champions of Russ. So those of you who've been following the channel know I was running Stormlance up to and through ATC. I have jumped onto the Champion of Russ bandwagon since. So this will be the first big event I'm going to with it. I took it to an RTT the other week. Didn't do quite as well as I wanted. Video on that, go back and look, but found some weaknesses I thought in the list. So this list hopefully fixes a lot of those. So first things first, we're going to take Bjorn. He is still in this list, and I am running him with the Multi-melta. But like I normally say, depending on what you want to do with him, most of his weapons are pretty decent. I'm also running Ragnar, who is my favorite 40k character. So I pretty much always run Ragnar. Other characters, I wanted some more combat. So Ragnar I'm going to run with a Blade Guard squad. It's going to be a 6-man. And I want to run a second Blade Guard squad because I really like them. So I was like, all right, who do I want to lead them? First thought was Judicar for the fights first. But in the few games I played him in, the fight first didn't come up very often. There are a couple matchups where it's really, really nice, but it doesn't come up all the time. So I'd say in teams you might take him if you're gearing towards certain matchups. But in singles, I was like, well, I want something that's going to be more useful in every game. So I decided to go with the Chaplain because he gives the whole unit +1 to wound. And that's just honestly really, really nice. With their strength 5, they're good in most infantry. But if you need to hit something a little harder, having that +1 to wound just built into the unit is pretty solid. So then one of the, well, we're going to take infiltrators. We always take infiltrators. So let's get that out of the way. We're going to take one infiltrator squad. Debated taking 2, but we're going to stick with 1 in this list. But the major flaw I was having in the last list was if I ran into like knights, gray knights, stuff that had guard, I just didn't have the real tank killing ability. So the +1 to win from the Chaplain all the time in the Blade Guard is nice. Ragnar can do decent by himself. So what else is good is a captain. Let's see, captain. We will give him the Black Death, so he gets anti-vehicle, anti-monster 4-up. The once per game when he pops his finest hour, they become mortals. So you can one time run into a vehicle and really, really have a good chance of killing it. I'm going to run him with the bolt pistol, mastercrafted weapon, and relic shield. I know you can give him some other options, but I just kind of like that loadout. And so I'm going to run him with a squad of Assault Intercessors. Where are they? Right here. So that will be my one Battleline. Most of you know I don't run Battleline a lot, but in this case, they're actually going to be fairly useful. So I've got the captain with Assault Intercessors, 2 Blade Guard squads with Ragnar and Chaplain. But they're all on foot, which I don't like. So we're going to take, where are they? Transports. We're going to take 1 Impulsor, give it the Shield Dome. So that can hold one of the units. Most likely will be Ragnar's unit. And then the other unit, we're going to put in a Land Raider Redeemer. I just think they're really, really good right now, even for 285 points. I think they're worth bringing. Give it all the free options. So now you can put 2 squads in there. You can put both Blade Guard squads or 1 Blade Guard squad in the Assault Intercessor, and whatever the third unit is can go on the Impulsor. When I first play tested it, I had both Blade Guard squads in the Redeemer. Wow, the 12-inch movement get out is nice, but I find Ragnar with the built-in advance and charge doesn't need it as much as the Captain does. The Land Raiders movement. So last couple games, I put the Captain in the Chaplain's units in the Land Raider, and Ragnar in the Impulsor because they can advance and charge out of it. And I know if you're in Warriorborn, you can advance and charge out with any of them. But a lot of the games where you're going to need the Captain's finest hour, I find lethal hits or bear are the better options. So in those cases where you really need to get the vehicles and you're taking the lethal hits, the Captain's unit doesn't have the advance and charge. So I like putting them in the Land Raider. If you're playing an infantry heavy list, you could possibly switch that up. But I just find, for me, that seems to be the best way to work it. Put the Captain and Intercessors in the Chaplain and Blade Guard into the Land Raider, and then put Ragnar in the Impulsor. So that leaves us at 1335. So wanted a little more anti-vehicle, just because I found that to be a major issue. So the next thing I was going to add is a Gladiator Lancer. And here it is, Gladiator Lancer. Go ahead and give him the rocket pod and heavy stubber, leave him with the Stormbolter. So he's really, really good. And then I also wanted to add some more. So we're going to add the Vindicator. He can take the Hunter Killer and the Stormbolter. He is hard to kill, and he's good against vehicles, but he also has Blast and can shoot into combat. So he's also still decent against Horde, and he's pretty hard to kill with a 2-up save. So I really, really like that addition there. So that left us with, 330 points. So there's something I take in a lot of lists, which I find is something that's really, really great for Marines. We're going to take an Inceptor squad. We're going to make them Plasma, just because that's the way I prefer the smaller squads. And you can run Bolters. They're really, really good too. But I find if I run a 6-man, I like the Bolters better than the 3-mans, but that's just a really personal preference. So we're going to run 2 of those. So that gives us some more mission play, but they also are good against vehicle and infantry. So that leaves us 70 points. We've got 3 really good combat units. We've got Redeemer, Lancer, Vindicator. So I think damage-wise, we're really, really good. So for these 30 points, I think the last play is something for scoring points playing missions. The first version of this I took was Scouts, which did okay. But then the last couple games I ran with the Lieutenant with Combi-weapon, which I really, really like. Just for his low op, he doesn't have the up-down of the Scouts, but I find with the aggressive nature of this list and the ability to 3-inch the Inceptors, I don't miss it that much. So you can have Infiltrators hold one side of your back. Excuse me, sorry about that. So you can have the Inceptors hold one side of your backfield, and he can infiltrate over on another little objective somewhere else and loan up, do some containments, do some stuff like that. And they really, really have to push hard, get 12 to kill him, get around terrain and be able to draw line of sight and get within 12. So a lot of times he's not easy to get to, and anything you commit to him, you're normally trading down since he's only 70 points. Because anything you send after him that's less than 70 points isn't going to reliably kill him. So I found I really, really like that. So we'll see how this does. I'm really excited about it. The only downside is the event I'm going to is running layout 6 and 4, which can be very, very shooty. So we'll see how well I can deliver my combat units in on those layouts. I have been doing some playtesting on those layouts and the best spots to deploy and hide to start the game, so as not to hopefully get alpha struck too hard at the beginning of a game. But yeah, so that's basically the list I am going to be taking. It is got lots of combat, got lots of shooting. It's something I think I will really enjoy playing. We'll see if I can be successful with it. But I will definitely keep you guys up to date. Over the weekend, I'll try to do some little shorts as I'm going through the rounds, let you know how the GT's going. It's a 2-day, 5-round, I believe, down in Hudson, Florida. So if you want, go ahead and track me on the app, see how I'm doing. I'll try to give quick updates between rounds. Definitely try to do some updates at the end of day 1 and possibly day 2. And once I get back, I'll definitely do a more in-depth wrap-up, whether I think there's any changes to list, whether I think I should stick with Champions of Russ, switch to Gladius, First Company, Stormlance, some of the other builds we've been playing around with, try the Dreadnought Heavy build. So we'll see where I end up at the end of this on this build and Champions of Russ overall. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, help me get this content out to other Wolf players, so that my experiences can help them, and you guys feel free to give me your experiences and thoughts to help me. Some of this stuff in the list I have stolen from the brains of other Space Wolf players. We have our real Space Wolf players chat. Good Space Wolf player in there named Josh Gonzalez. He's the reason I'm on the Captain with Black Death Intercessor, Assault Intercessor bandwagon and enjoying that. He was a real big advocate of that, and so I tried it out and I'm loving it. They also help me when I throw out my ideas, help me whittle it down. Yes, that's good. No, it's bad. So that's another big thing. Have people you can bounce ideas off of, especially if they play the same army or very similar armies. Because if you're a Space Wolf player and your friend you talk to 40K about is a Tau player, you can get some insight, especially against how to fight against Tau, but you get the best insight from other people running the same army as you and their experience fighting into stuff and running certain units. Um, so that I find that is really helpful, getting into a group of people who enjoy the same army as you. But with that being said, that's where I will cut this off for now. I'll go ahead and put that list in the description here, and feel free to let me know how anyone else does at any events they're going to this weekend, and I will catch you guys next time.